How you doing, folks? Welcome back to the Forge and Brush Gaming channel. And today we're going to take a quick look at the Warhammer Fantasy RolePlay 4th edition by Cubicle 7. A great role-playing game. I was first introduced to this back in the early 90s, if not the late 80s, with Warhammer Fantasy Battle and the 1st edition of Warhammer Fantasy RolePlay, which I'm going to kind of show you off in this video as well. Some of the old 1st edition stuff that got me excited to begin with. So let's jump into this and see what Warhammer Fantasy RolePlay is all about and what I have in store for it. So Warhammer's been a thing with me for a long time. Played it all through the 90s. Whether it's the tabletop game, Warhammer Fantasy Battle, or the role-playing game. Now I have to admit, I've never actually played the role-playing game. This is the 1st edition, by the way. Some of the stuff I have for this. And I was so excited to play this back in the day, and I never got the chance, sadly. But this has always been something that has fascinated me when it comes to role-playing games. And from the looks of it, I think the Warhammer Fantasy RolePlay by Cubicle 7, the 4th edition of the rules, really does the game justice, from what I can see. And of course, I'm not going to do a full review yet, if I do one at all. But I am going to play some games, going to make some characters, going to run a campaign with Warhammer Fantasy RolePlay. And we're going to see how we get along with that. Of course, here's part of the Enemy Within campaign. Going back in the day. This is yellow-toned pages, by the way. This isn't actually white. Yeah, so I had the 1st edition stuff, the Warhammer Companion, which had some good stuff in it, Arrow of Madness. So this is, again, 1st edition stuff. Before we take a look at the 4th edition, yeah, so there you go. There's the 1st edition of the game, and now we're going to have a look at the 4th edition book and see what that's all about. So here we go, Warhammer Fantasy RolePlay 4E. Look at this bad boy. Full color glossy pages. And there's a lot in here. Got a nice introduction. Well, let's see what the contents are. There's your contents page. Lots of good stuff there. Religions and belief, between adventures, skills and talents, rules, section right here. About 50 or so pages. Let's see, 149 to 191. So there you go. About the character, class, and careers. There's no classes in this game, no levels in this game. There's just professions, which is very cool. Artwork. This is beautiful artwork here. Look at that. So yeah, there's a lot going in this book. And again, look at the artwork and the background information. It's telling a story to you. Get you all in the mood. Wood elves, all about the races available. Here's some of the classes. Beggar, artisan, artisan, all that good stuff. Beggars. What else do we got in here? Languages of magic. Whole magic section. Chaos gods. Diseases. Again, I'm not going to go in great detail about this. I just got it. Grave robbers, outlaws. What are these? Fence, charlatan. Are these the career? Yeah, these are the careers, professions that you could advance in. Offering skills, talents, trappings, and all this other stuff. It's got an interesting way that you go up in your career paths. Yeah. So I'm going to get more into this as far as the content of the rule book. I do have the rule book and the starter set for Foundry, which is where I intend to play most of the games of this. But anyway, folks, I'm really excited about this. This is something I've wanted to do since the 90s, if not the 80s. Back in the day. My kind of game. And of course, you can't beat the rich background of Warhammer Fantasy. the old world. And some of my players are quite familiar with that. So stay tuned, folks. We're going to have more on this fabulous game of Warhammer Fantasy RolePlay 4th edition by Cubicle 7. So yeah. So there we go. Warhammer Fantasy RolePlay 4th edition, Cubicle 7. I'll put a link to the website, Cubicle 7's website, where you can check out this game. Warhammer Fantasy RolePlay. Really good stuff. I am, again, really excited to play this. Something a little different than I've been playing recently. In fact, I got a one-shot planned in a week or two, so we'll see how that goes. Perhaps we'll record it so you guys can watch and see our silliness as we get along with this great game. Fantastic. Looking forward to it. And as usual, there's a whole lot more content I got coming for the channel, so be sure you subscribe so you don't miss out, folks. Like, share, and comment too. Let me know if you play Warhammer Fantasy RolePlay or any of the RPGs by Cubicle 7, 40K, and so on and so forth. Let me know in the comments below. Anyway, we're going to see you guys next time. So remember, folks, hang in there. It's only going to get better. Talk to you soon.